Today we're talking about The Blob, a 1958 sci-fi classic that accidentally figured out how fear actually works. The Blob is closer to a chemical spill with ambition. It doesn't grow legs, it doesn't have eyes, it doesn't talk, threaten, or explain itself. And somehow, that became one of the most unsettling monsters in 1950s science fiction. Because fear, it turns out, doesn't actually need a face. The Blob is a 1958 sci-fi horror film starring a very young Steve McQueen, young enough that the movie insists he's a teenager and we're all just expected to nod politely. McQueen doesn't play teenage innocence, he plays impatience. A gelatinous alien mass crashes to Earth inside a meteorite, starts dissolving people on contact, and immediately exposes one of the film's central tensions. No one in charge wants to believe the kids. Which, to be fair, is basically the default adult setting in 1950s sci-fi. Unlike most monsters of the era, creatures with claws, teeth, or at least a tragic monologue, the Blob is just stuff. No personality, no motive, no origin story worth explaining. The smartest thing this movie ever did was refuse to make the monster relatable. No speeches, no psychology, just endless appetite and growth. It's not a character, it's a problem. The setup is simple, almost aggressively so. A quiet Pennsylvania town, a falling meteor, a curious hermit who pokes it, because of course he does, and out comes a red, sticky nightmare that grows bigger every time it touches someone. The teenagers panic, the adults dismiss it, authority shrugs, repeat until it's almost too late. The Blob isn't really a metaphor for one specific fear. It's escalation itself, a threat that keeps expanding without mitigation or explanation, while the people in charge insist everything is under control. The monster doesn't change, but the consequences do. And by the time the adults finally act, the situation has already grown beyond them. That part still feels uncomfortably familiar. Modern fears often look the same way, systems that grow faster than our ability to understand or stop them. No villain, no plan, just momentum. That's why this goofy, low-budget movie still works. It taps into a very old anxiety that never really went away. The Blob even escaped the screen. Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, where part of the film was shot, still hosts Blobfest, an annual ritual where fans recreate the famous run from the theater scene. Because nothing says cultural legacy like sprinting away from imaginary doom together. A faceless creature became a mirror for collective fear, not because it was sophisticated, but because it didn't care to explain itself. If you like classic sci-fi that still resonates, still reflects the fears of its time, and still echoes into ours, you're in the right place. Subscribe for more, and visit liquidtwist.com for the full essays.